Heyo! Welcome to ZUDECAST number 78. Today we've got Isaac Negrete. How do you pronounce it? What's the preferred pronunciation?
Okay, so hear me out. I've had people say it wrong. I've had people say it. I'm just gonna go ahead and say Negrete is like the Spanish way of saying it. I've heard it Negrete, which is like
that
people look
Italian.
at me. Yeah, that's exactly what they say. They go, "Hey, you look Italian."
Yeah.
You know? And so I suffer from deli face, which is just totally like I'm gonna sell you a sandwich with some meat.
Dude,
you know,
that's true.
That's my day job.
I think you're kind of ambiguous. You almost look like you could be a deli guy in any country. You could be. I could see you like in Istanbul, deli.
Right.
Do you think you like became that way, or you were like born for that?
I took a look at some salami and I was like, "This is what I want to do with my life.
This is the life."
Yeah, I want my prosciutto. I want capogol.
Nice.
Capocolas. And yeah, I realized that like. There's certain things where you get the name from. My name translates in Spanish to a little black, which is funny.
Interesting. That's why I feel a little bit uncomfortable saying.
That's the biggest one. Yeah, it's like
sweet,
but it's for the culture.
Excellent. Well, glad to have you, brother. We got myself. I'm Crispy Grooves here. We got Adrian Grody over here. What's up,
what's
dog?
good, y'all? What's poppin'?
What's poppin'? It's your boy Robert Ware. Here as always.
Hell yeah. And then we got Talbot running the boards not as always, but as new. That's the new standard, dude.
Yeah,
that's the new normal.
Yeah.
We're into it. Shout
At your
out.
service.
Ho! Yeah. Appreciate you.
Excellent, dude. We're getting close, man. We're getting close to 300 subscribers, getting close to episode 80, bro. We're gonna hit some landmarks.
Some milestones.
Some
man.
milestones.
Dude, we're glad you're joining the Zude journey with us, bro.
I'd love
We've
to.
been around, bro. We've been seeing you left and right. You guys been playing music together a while,
Yeah,
bro.
man.
Hell
Dude,
yeah.
I think I've been playing with music with you like longer than like before I even met Bryant.
Yeah,
Because it was like 2018, I think I started playing with you with Hayes, dude.
Yeah,
those were
shout
the
out.
days.
Yeah,
Those were the days.
Alicia K. Hall putting us together. It was like
out.
those years at Shady Lady Bar, and
Yes.
good times, man.
Dude, it's such a shame about Shady right now.
Yeah.
The no music. It's been how many months now? It's crazy.
It feels
They're
longer than a year now.
They're slipping so hard.
I think the last time I played there was November, like 2021, probably.
Dude,
Yeah.
the last time I played there, my amp broke. And then
That's
that was,
right.
I think, the last time at Shady. We're like,
Yeah.
you were there.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Whereas like, the last like 15 minutes of the set, my amp just like went kaput. And I'm finally sent it in to get it fixed just like a couple weeks ago. But yeah, man, time fucking flies.
Yeah,
dude.
I was rocking an old Con 10M. I had a beater horn that I like took in the rain. And this horn, like I took that to New Orleans, and after that, I was like, man, this horn's broke.
Yeah. The rain, you don't want that for saxophone.
Never
That's
for
not
saxophone.
generally good.
No, don't.
It's probably
do
bad for
saxophones in the
like
rain.
bad for all of it, I guess.
Oh, dude, the oil, the
Cork.
keys, the leather pads.
Yeah.
Those are expensive.
Yeah.
Some of them are like, oh, it's kangaroo leather. That's a little pricey. Pricey nowadays.
From down under.
Right.
Yeah, bro.
Australian.
You could
horns.
play a Men at Work with that,
But yeah, man.
Dude, do you know about like the horrible tragedy of that song about the land down under?
It was in Kangaroo Jack.
Oh, well, first of all, ain't nothing tragic about Kangaroo Jack. Kangaroo Jack rules, bro.
Facts.
And
I really
Copium.
thought you were gonna say Darth Plagueis the Wise first.
No.
I'm like, yes.
Tell me when I was a kid. Commercial, and like when I saw it, I was like, man, this is a story about a talking kangaroo. Didn't talk.
Barely in it, dude. They
Didn't even say a word.
They ran out of
Like,
CG budget
Yeah.
so
Bro,
fast.
here's the thing about Kangaroo Jack.
A lot going on right now.
Sorry
Bro,
about that.
the ghost.
Threw his head back in laughter so hard that his headphones came off.
Straight up.
Quality content.
The Zude House ghost doesn't like that we're talking shit about Kangaroo
Yeah,
Jack.
right.
Bro.
I was talking up Kangaroo Jack.
Bro,
I love Kangaroo
no,
Jack.
I'm about to talk a little shit right now because here's the thing, bro. Everybody remembers the next episode being in the trailer for Kangaroo Jack. You know the bam, 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 bam,
And it's
bam,
a
bam,
fake.
bam, bam. It's fake. It's fake as fuck. They created a false memory, bro.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
fucking. It's the copyright safe version, bro. Fuck them.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the first TikTok. They're like, no.
But you know the the flute part in that song in the Land Down Under where it's like or whatever. It's like too similar to the actual song or whatever. It's like what is it? It's like some like nurse. Oop, is that our audio going out or is that my cable going out?
That was fine for us. You're good. I didn't
Okay,
hear
that's just
anything
my
drop,
cable.
yeah.
My bad. The guy who like recorded the flute part, I guess the band got sued because it sounded like super like that. It's like a little kid like, what's it? How's it go? It's like Kookaburra sits in the old gum tree, something something, king of the bushes. He whatever. It sounds like that. And then so I guess they got sued and like lost a ton of money on that song, like because that was like their big hit, and I guess they like lost a ton of money, and it was kind of the flute player's fault.
Wait. When is that song from?
The 1980s.
1980s. Okay.
Yeah. And so like, yeah, the flute player, he spiraled after that, dude.
Oh, no.
It was sad. He had a not so happy ending. Anyways, that's a tragic tragic show. But fun fact about I don't know.
men at work.
I had
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
I feel it.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about my saxophone career. I'm just like, man, one wrong note, and someone's just gonna be like, I own that.
Right?
Don't play that ever
Yeah,
again. I'm just like,
that's
right.
true.
Just like,
That's
dang,
true.
man.
The copyright lawsuits are crazy, man.
Oh yeah,
Dude, there was just that whole thing about Marvin Gaye's family was suing Ed Sheeran. First of all, Marvin Gaye's family, they're
Sues
scumbags.
everyone.
They're scumbags,
powerful
bro.
lawyers,
They're-
yeah.
it's like corporate level of lawyers. They're just like, we're gonna go after you. We already run Pharrell. We already,
Dude,
they
they do it on everybody, and it's honestly scum when they win because it's like, they weren't cool with Marvin Gaye when he was alive. Like his family was notoriously like fucking shady to him, and his dad is the reason he's not around anymore. So it's just scum. The Ed Sheeran thing. I'm glad that he got off of that and like didn't end up having to pay the Marvin Gaye estate because
It's pretty similar, I will say.
Yeah.
You,
But it's
you know,
like a
you know
lot-
the song that he got sued for or whatever.
It's,
But the whole B section is different though.
yeah, right.
So it's
just
like,
everyone just
you
writes a
can't-
bridge,
Right. You can't copyright, evidently, you can't copyright a 1, 3, 4, 5 chord progression. But it's like the beat was pretty similar. But
Yeah.
like the melody is different.
Melody's totally different.
But that's tricky, man. It's
You
tricky.
know,
It's tricky navigating that.
I think what's happening is, even with the film industry, it's finally happening to them what the music industry did, So now we got all these movies on streaming platforms, and now people are just like crabs in a barrel. Hey, I need money, So it's a
Yeah.
little, even the movie Nope, like it's one of the greatest movies ever. I look at it from an artist standpoint, and people are like, oh, well, I don't know about that movie. It's too much, but I love it, man. There's different
I thought Nope
parts.
was good, dude.
Yeah, it's a great movie. That's one of my favorites.
I think it's my favorite Jordan Peele
Peele
one
movie
so far.
easily, bro. Honestly, easily to me. I could see some people saying like Get Out was like they like Get Out more, or someone could say like Get Out was better, but I like Nope more just because of like the subject matter too.
Yeah, the subject
I'm a
matter's
dork
cool.
for that shit.
But anyways, dude, it's great to have you on. If anybody doesn't know, goes without saying.
Right.
Sax legend of Sacramento.
I'm just a hometown hero. I like to say I'm just a gig economy musician,
Dude,
face value.
absolutely.
Like I'm just performing to perform. There's not like a lot of musicians can get on the grind and be like, this is my job. And I did that for a while, but then now I'm like, I'm a little retired now. Just like I'll stick to the recordings here and there. But yeah, I'm working with Harley White now, Harley White Jr.
Yeah.
in the orchestra. He's one of the first guys that put me on when I was young, and him being this like strong leader in the jazz community, I felt like I had a safe space, especially playing with those guys. You've experienced the same thing at jazz sessions where it's like, man, people can vibe, people can, definitely be off-putting to some of them. Like, oh, you don't know these songs, you don't know this changes,
Vibing in a negative way
And,
for those that don't know what that means.
Right, yeah.
Because it's like, oh, like vibe, like that sounds cool. Like, oh, you passed the vibe check or whatever. But it's like, to
Yeah.
get vibed by someone.
Right.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
it's not a
man.
good feeling. No,
Right.
that's why I like why Jacob has on his kick drum, just like, don't vibe
Don't
cats
vibe
or whatever.
cats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's important, man. It's like, I mean, I feel like there's a mix. Like there's a balance where you can't just like you can't lie to people, but you can't also just like be a dick when someone's like just starting out. Like
Right.
Like you don't want to discourage people. You want to encourage people, but sometimes the best encouragement can sometimes for some people be nice positive reinforcement, and then sometimes it can be like something crazy happens on stage or something embarrassing happens, or you just like, oh man, where it's like just that feeling where you just like totally flub like a little fill or like a something where you have a solo note or like a soli or whatever, and it's just like, oh god. But the embarrassment,
dude, I've
fuels
been
you.
there, man.
Yeah.
And you know, there's a lot of cats that I know that are like, they practice in their room too much and they don't really get out and play with other people.
Gotta do
And I'm glad like we did this footwork like 2 or 3 years ago where it's like, hey, let's do the jam sessions at BTU. Let's do these jam sessions. And you know, Jake and Miguel and Lab Rats with Joey, they put it at Torch Club every Sunday night now. And shout out to them for making it happen, because you know, for a while I felt like there wasn't a good place for singer-songwriter types to meet jazz instrumentalists or to meet you know, a hip-hop artist or an MC that can host it and make it happen. And Sacramento really needs that, you know, like
it's good to join those like universes together,
right?
Because a lot of time, it's like you go to the hip-hop like freestyle sessions and it's all just, you know, beats played off a speaker or whatever. A lot of the time where it's like the beat with the lyrics in the fucking like it built into the MP3 still. And it's like, oh man, it's because there's so many times that I've seen rappers where it's been like that. I'm like, it'd be pretty sweet if y'all had a band,
right?
But that's becoming more of a thing,
yeah.
And it works. And it's like just going to Lab Rats, their album premiered the other week. I'm like, dude, it's got me so inspired. And just listening to their album, you know, I've just been blasting the CD while I'm driving around. And it's crazy just how much, like with Jacob's drumming too, it's like you wouldn't expect a lot of that erratic sort of like crazy like soloing to work so perfectly with it. But it's like it fuses perfectly with the hip hop kind of stuff and the jazz sort of stuff, just like all like blends into this big giant like Goliath sound, and it's so nasty.
I think he just has a lot of vocabulary.
Yeah.
And that's like,
He needs to get it out there.
dude, he has like, shout out to Jacob Swellow, first of all, because that man, he puts in so much work and so much to just one moment of playing every song. So it's like I've been playing music with him for about 14 years now.
Oh damn! I didn't know you guys went that back.
Dude, we went to high school together. We did all of our festivals, jazz festivals, traveling. His older brother was a bass guitar player, and he was a grade above me.
Right.
And it's just they were the family band every time. It was a good experience, good people.
Dude, that's so sick. Family musicians too, where it's like brothers. Yeah, like just like we just had Brian Curtin on the other day, and like him and Colin. You know, it's like. So many goons, so many goon squads of different the families of blood relation or not or otherwise.
Dude, it creates a deeper sense of understanding, because then like not only is it like, hey, I understand your story, it's like, oh well, I can have this safe space to be myself around you and just play what I want to play. Yeah, and they get that, they read it, and you could hear it in Joey and Miguel's playing, because not only are they amazing brass players too, but they understand that vocabulary of like, hey, something needs to change, or the song needs to move a certain way, or you know, it's just the communication aspect that's big. That's big for any band,
dude. Definitely,
it's wild.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So how many like instruments do you play? Do you play just sax or what else?
Too many. Many. Like I play bass guitar when it, like, I don't know, I wanted to get a deeper understanding for composition. I own too many saxophones. Like I just like 2 altos, 2 tenors, baritones, bass, sopranino, which is higher than a soprano.
Oh shit!
I won't ever own a soprano. Kenny G ruined it for me. I can't do it.
No, like Train and Wayne Shorter doesn't balance it out. The Kenny G.
You could still do all that on a sopranino. I firmly believe there's no reason to own a soprano saxophone. It works for the chops if you want to work out, but like, I don't want to work that hard.
It's just a shiny clarinet.
Right.
At that point.
Might as well play a clarinet, or, you know, I even own a flute. I'd own a flute before playing a soprano. That's how strong I feel about that opinion.
Flutes are sick, though.
Right.
Yeah, flutes are very, like, totally different. You know, it's a different thing. I feel
Dude, I love it. Like
different mouth action.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like half the time when you're playing Rick James tunes, it's there. You know. Like, I was in a cover band doing these cruise ship gigs, and that's what they wanted. They were like, "Oh, you play saxophone?" I was like, "Yeah." They were like, we got this flute in the back, and we want you to play this because we don't really have a flute player in our band. I was like, all right, I'll learn it. And all those gigs require you to like have a music degree or be like, oh, you got to be reading these sheet musics.
Yeah.
And I haven't read sheet music in like 13 years. I'll be honest. Like I've always just been like, give me the tunes, give me the, you know.
Yeah.
Send me the set list.
Right.
I'll Spotify it and get back to you.
Right. It's a lot easier when it's just reactive in the moment to the music than to be like, oh, this arrangement is kind of written wrong or like
Yeah. No, I feel
Dude,
it.
it's so bad as a guitar player where
can't
it's just
imagine.
like, because at least with sax stuff or like a lot of stuff where it's like the standard is to write it in standard notation, but with guitar everything's just tabs that you get from some sketchy ass site or whatever, and it's like, oh, unless you pay the subscription to get the premium tabs. Like, and by premium I mean they don't have wrong notes usually, but then sometimes they still do, or it's just like, well, that's how you know when you made it. When you're looking at the chart for a tune, you're like, the chart's wrong, I'm right. That's how you know you're a real musician.
And got the Guitar Hub Premium.
Yeah, I had to dude, I canceled. I realized that I was still subscribed to Ultimate Guitar. Fuck y'all, I haven't used that shit for 11 months. I like unsubscribed before it hit me again with the annual. Yeah, I've been cut some costs lately.
So how you said you were playing on a cruise ship? How'd you get it? How'd you snag that gig?
So there's like 3 different websites you can go on and be like, oh, I want to cruise Jamaica or cruise Hawaii or cruise this. They hire you as staff. So you're
see.
like cleaning like toilets and
Oh.
stuff. But like they're like, hey, yeah, you be an entertainer. We pay you for entertainment. And I got on to playing in the funk party bands.
Right.
So when I was in college, I was at NYU playing Lenny Pickett's, block party band.
Oh,
And it's
yeah.
all Tower Power. It's average white band. It's all
Yep,
the
yep,
70s
yep.
funk. And so I'm like, where are those gigs at? Where, how do we fit in there? And then there were all these guys that had their master's degree. They've been playing saxophone for years. And I'm like, I'm a scrub. Like, I don't, like, what do you mean? Like, I got to play all these jazz tunes. And they end up hiring me for these soul bands that were playing. And I just happened to know a couple of the vocalists.
Oh yeah.
And I just kind of weaseled my way in there. I really didn't have the qualifications to do the gig. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it's more like, hey, I came to show up and play and do the work.
That's sick.
And yeah, it was kind of hard to get my foot in the door there. It is very corporate like and suits and ties,
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they're like, put on some makeup, wear a wig, and I'm
the
like,
fuck?
oh, I don't know if I want to do all that, but whatever pays the bills, I guess. So it was a good gig. It was kind of fun.
That's dope though. What's the dopest place you got to like travel from that? Did you do that just once or a bunch of times or?
There's a bunch going from like you start off in San Diego, go to Tijuana, and it's like 1 week. Or you go to like Hawaii. The coolest one I ever did was going to Jamaica. And again, that was the Rick James cover band. It was like 2 vocalists just standing out front, couple horns, the full rhythm section. I was like, all right, this is an easy gig. The gigs before that, they were all like just jazz standards. So like you show up to the Mexican band, you're doing the salsas, you're doing a lot of the Latin Tito Puente cover band stuff.
Yep.
And then all from there, I was like a Santana cover band. And I was like, all right, yeah, I can just stand behind the guitar player, let him do all the work.
Yeah, right.
Let him turn his fuzz pedal on and do the thing. Man, so that's crazy. Like, because I've heard about some of these cruise gigs that are several months long.
Yeah.
But the ones you did, are they that long, or how grueling are we talking?
We're talking like 3 months. 3 months. Like some of them, I would say, especially for like going to Jamaica, it's like, hey, you're staying in this hotel, and like it's like a motel, not like a nice one.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's like life on the boat. It's just like, hey, you're on board. That's it.
Right.
That's all you can do.
So you have to do. You have to do other duties
Yeah.
while you're there, though.
Oh,
You
yeah.
don't just play music and
You
then
don't-
fuck off and drink.
Right. You don't get to fuck off and drink. That's the
it's
fucked up
crazy.
thing. They give you a pass, and it's just like, oh, you're an artist, But when you're not on stage, they tell you to take it off because you're not performing. And they go, well, you can't have the drink if you're not doing your job. So they're very
no.
like,
Shoot.
it is more like once you get paid, then they're like, oh, you can pay the $50 and get the all access, all drink pass or whatever. So like you do 1 week of work and then you're like, yeah,
I see.
toss it in, like, but it's kind of weird the way they kind of set it up. They're like 3 months, you get, the little cardboard closet and has like a toilet. And you're like, all right, this is what I'm sleeping.
It's a dystopia pod.
Yeah, straight up.
It's like the musician equivalent of just going to work on like an oil rig for like a whole summer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, going down to Alaska for the cannery
Right.
job or whatever, lose a thumb. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. I mean, that sounds sweet though. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you have any like crazy experiences? Any?
Hold on, just real quick before that, though, I just want to ask, what was your favorite Rick James song to play?
Alicia calls it all the time. It might be just because, like, Give It To Me Baby's up there.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, Mary Jane is, like, the most popular one every
Yeah.
time. And
Everybody loses their shit for that one. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, it's the riff everybody knows, and at least somebody's going to spark a joint when they hear the song.
Yeah.
Somebody somewhere rolls one up already. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to Brian Curtin in the chat.
Yo!
And we also got Beraldo Grant in the chat. What's up, player?
Thanks for tuning in, y'all.
I'm fighting to keep my eyes open, boys. I'm fat and sleepy. All right. Hey. Well, appreciate you tuning in, man. Shit. Hell yeah. Let's take it back full screen, though. Yeah, so you're saying what? Just have any other crazy experiences from working on that? You got any just like wild debauchery you got into on the cruise ship, or while abroad?
I had more
Getting away broads while abroad.
Crazy stories about New Orleans more than anything else. That and I lived by myself in New York City.
Oh,
and
shit.
I'll tell you this: living by myself in New York, it was stupid, especially being young and 21 years old. I was like going on random dates and I was doing like 3 a day, which was nuts. And it was too much where I was just like, man, I don't know where my boundaries are. Like, I didn't know me yet. I didn't know what I was doing. And I don't know, like after a year of doing that, I knew that I was going to go crazy if I kept living by myself. So I just ended up in situationships. It was just like, oh yeah, girl, I got my own spot. Come through, So I was just doing random reckless stuff because I was by myself. But I learned kind of the pacing of it when I got to New Orleans, where I was just like, all right, well now I'm just a player. Like I can do this every night. I'm part of the culture. It's part of the vibe, But nothing wild. I would say New Orleans is a nonstop party. That's just like, what that whole vibe is.
Yeah.
It's just like, we're going to go to this bar and eat here and go to this bar and this bar. And it's like, oh, in the span of an hour, Like,
When did you move there to New Orleans?
So I visited a couple times with my brass bands here and there, but I never really like settled in. It was more just like seasonal work here and there. So every like Mardi Gras from like 2012 to like 2015, I was trying to be there. This last year, I only went for like a week, and then I just bowled around the city and came back. There wasn't much work because I went the week before Jazz Fest, and then I went the week right after Mardi Gras when everything was cooling down.
Yeah.
It's a little expensive to go during those times, so I try to book it out in the winter.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, like I love that city. Like something about the food, the culture, the environment, the music. It has so much depth of history and culture there, which I love.
That's awesome, man.
Dude,
Yeah, definitely on the list to places to check out for sure.
Yeah, I'm stoked because I'm going to be going there with the Gold Souls hopefully next
That's right.
April or no, next summer, I think. We're going to play like a festival out there. So hopefully going to try to make a little tour of it. So like when you would go, did you just like crash at people's spots or like how much of a pirate's life was it?
Hear me out. There's too many things. I would hang out with this guy Anthony Coleman. I've known him forever.
Oh yeah, I met him. Or, yeah, we played a gig.
Yeah, we played a gig
when
with
he was in town.
And he is literally Captain Jack Sparrow reincarnated.
That's accurate.
And so, like, literally picture this man. He has a trumpet on his wrist. He has a glass of whiskey Coke, and he has a blunt in his hand. And that's the thing is he's walking around the streets doing that because it's open carry law. And they don't really
open carry with booze.
With booze, yeah. I mean,
not so much the guns.
You can't really smoke weed there, but
right.
it was it was eye-opening, I guess, to see the city from his point of view and also be a part of that culture. And he established Element Brass Band out here in Sacramento and then moved over there. And I was playing a lot in his Latin band, his big band, the Simplistic Big Band, and he exposed me to a lot of the brass band music out here and as well as over there. So I would stay at his house every once in a while, and that was a thing where jam sessions were happening every single day at his house. Nice. He could convince himself that he loved a girl that he just met at the bar, and then like still do the trumpet playing thing and play some keys and then go on to the next one. And that was just the lifestyle. That was just the an everyday thing for him. So I was like, wow, I could do this every day. I could hang out and play on the scene and take an international woman home. That's wild. And so I just kind of fell in love with that city. And it was kind of cool to see, just different points of view, different lifestyles. And I don't know, like playing music has always opened doors for me to just be like, be authentic myself and be authentic with like, I don't know, like creating culture and community spaces. So yeah, like I've always stayed with him or Ben Hillier, who runs City of Trees Brass Band. I know there's a couple guys back and forth that play in his band, and Scotty's there. He's a good homie of mine that plays trombone, and a couple homies end up moving back just because it's hard to live out there. Especially dealing with a lot of death or natural causes where it's like hurricanes
and then it's hot as balls during the summer and like humid or whatever.
It's the hug you don't want. It's just like it's like that step out of the shower feeling, and it just doesn't
never goes away.
Just doesn't dry.
That's what
it stays wet.
That's what I like when I was talking to Alan about his experiences in New Orleans, like where it's just you have to bring like separate changes of clothes, multiple costume changes per day, just due to the nature of the climate.
It's hard because like I just wear jeans all the time, and like when you're there in the summertime, it's just like don't I was wearing basketball shorts every other day,
dude. Right. Damn, that's the tough thing, man, especially for gigs, because there's some part of me where I'm like, I can't wear shorts. Like,
it's unprofessional.
It's unprofessional.
It feels weird.
It just feels wrong. Yeah. It feels wrong.
I had this conversation with my girlfriend last night too. I was like, I don't wear shorts. I don't have a summer fit. Like I wear jeans and I wear a shirt. Right. Black shirts mostly. I try to keep a low profile. It's like I don't have time to be like going, I need sandals and shorts to go to the beach. I don't do that. I'm like,
go to the beach in jeans, bro.
Right, I go to the beach in jeans.
I slides, like Nike slides and socks.
Yep. I was gonna ask, when you were in New Orleans, did you see any weird like voodoo stuff at any point, or not really?
Everywhere. It's on every corner. You can pull up to the church and there's a lady with rosemary hanging out. It's so weird to see that culture, but it's also really like, man, people do believe in like there's another source of power, whether it's like demonic or I don't know how to say it. Like there's, you could put a curse on somebody. Like, I saw it happen. I was like, man, they got little voodoo dolls and they're poking shit. And I was like,
that's crazy, man. But, you think you've ever been cursed?
There's like one Creole girl out there that I think put a curse on me. I was like, I don't know. It's weird.
Chalk it up. Anytime anything bad happens, chalk it up. Chalk it up to the curse.
Yeah, man. I think that culture is kind of cool, but I wouldn't get into it. It seems like something where it's like, oh man, Ouija boards. Like that's something I might get into, but I'm like, whoa, that's far.
Yeah, it's a lot to grasp.
Right.
You got like, what's like the spookiest thing you ever saw? You ever see anything just make you just like nope the fuck out of there? Or not so much.
I mean, I've seen people play with swamp water over there, which is wild. And they're like, oh yeah, this is supposed to like cure you, and I'm like, of what? Like, what do you mean? I don't know if they were drinking it. I don't know if they were using it to like pour over stuff. I was like, I don't know.
That's definitely off-putting for sure.
Like, it'll cure you of being too clean.
They literally had like a mason jar like this, and it's like molding. I'm just like,
oh fuck, dude.
Yeah.
That's
It's for
foul.
healing energy.
Healing energy.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Is
Yeah.
did you like, I presume, like, what's like the bayou like? Have you like checked out any like naturey stuff out there?
So I didn't really check out a lot of the nature. I stayed in the city for the most part. I'm a city guy. I don't.
Yeah.
I was like, I do want to see like the cool like culinary side of things.
Oh, yep.
So that was the biggest thing for me was I went to one of the Whole Foods because I work at Whole Foods. I mean, it's not the best job, but it's a job.
It's like home away from home.
Yeah, straight up, because like I was like, all right, I'll go to this meat department, and everything's combined. They got a seafood department. The coolest thing I've ever saw was these guys were breaking down alligator, and they had one in a case, and they were like, yeah, we're using it for alligator sausage. I was like, that's fucking wild. I love that. And so that's all I ate when I was down there was just alligator sausage, and like they were just breaking down hides, and I was like, man, I want to learn how to do all that shit.
That's fucking dope.
Does it taste like chicken?
Straight up, yeah.
It really does. Yeah, I've had it before.
Dude, that's what. Wait, were you at the crawfish festival?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I tried some like alligator bites there, and I was like, you could have just told me this was alligator bites, and it could have just been chicken, and I would not have known the difference.
I think it's just as good as having chicken thigh because it's like fattiness content of it. It has like that fish flavor.
Yeah.
But it's more just like, man, that texture is just so much like chicken.
It's like
'Cause
the
it
white
doesn't-
meat, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
because gator doesn't really, at least when I tried it, it doesn't have like a very overtly fishy kind of taste like you would just a fillet of.
I like to
whatever.
say it doesn't need any butter. Like that's the
I
easiest way
feel
to
it.
say
Yeah,
it.
no, I feel it's
just
real
like,
rich.
Done.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Hell yeah.
No, I want to go to New Orleans so bad, but I know that like if I lived there or stayed there for like a long time, I would be too much of a pirate. I wouldn't know how to get out of pirate mode.
That's exactly why I left.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. Is like, man, I need to slow down because like I'm on this like thing right now that I'm learning about myself. I like to just keep going because I like to have projects. I like to have multiple things going on. And as soon as I start slowing down again, I'm just like, wait a minute, what was I doing? I had like that ADHD mindset.
Yeah.
But I like that New Orleans has like this like almost homey Southern love about it.
Yeah.
And the fast pacing of it is a little dangerous because it's like, oh man, I can drink every night and I don't have to pay for these drinks. And you're saying I can meet like 10,000 people in an international pool and play music, and it's just like, man, the access there is so wild that like
That's true. It's much more of an international hub than Sacramento.
Oh yeah,
is by
for
far.
sure, for sure.
People go there like that have never been to the United States. They're like, gotta go to New Orleans or whatever.
I kind of see Sacramento as this like, we're in like the middle of San Francisco, Lake Tahoe, Reno, Vegas, even, and LA. People are coming here because it's like, oh, it's cheaper. Oh man, I don't have to pay much on rent. So we have this weird infrastructure that's always up and down.
Right.
We're
Just getting the other, instead of getting people from around the world, we're just getting them from all the cities that have fallen to whatever in California and Nevada and stuff.
Well, Sacramento's like a hub world where you pick your level you're gonna go to. You feel me? Like you're like, I'm gonna go play San Francisco. I'm gonna go to Tahoe.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that is the
Start from
nice. That is
Sacramento.
kind of the nice thing about being a musician in Sacramento is that you are like you can in a weekend go to like you're not that far from Reno. You're not that far from Tahoe. You're not that far from the Bay.
Oh yeah.
You're not that far from, and you can get up to Oregon in like not that long. I'm going to Oregon next week for
That's the
a
thing,
couple
man, is,
days.
like all these Bay Area like wine bars, those are my favorite places to play right now.
Dude.
Like even Old Sugar Mill Winery down the street, or Harley White has his brasserie gig. I know there's a couple like Levi Sayla, the alto sax player. He's at the Cava Bar all the time, or he's at these coffee shops or Roseville. And I'm like, man, these are like the economy places to play in Sac. And then outside of that, I feel like it's you stick to your bar money or you stick to your alcohol sales and see which one works.
Right.
But yeah.
Dude, yeah, the winery gigs are where it's at though. I'm trying to find more of those. Those are pretty sweet. People be tipping out there.
I got to call Jake back. I wanted to get the Flatland Brewery back. That was fun.
Yeah, dude, Flatland was a fun little spot.
Yeah.
That was a cool little spot.
Shout out.
Oh yeah.
Fuck, what was I gonna say? Someone else go.
I was gonna say, I think we got a couple chats too. If you want to check some chats real quick.
Shout out to G Smith in the chat. Said keep up the good work, bros.
Appreciate you, man. Vault official news. Let's go. Shout out to the homie. And then Leah says, "Yo, it's the same in Texas. Shower, step outside, go back in, shower again."
For real.
That's brutal.
Yeah, no, that's tricky, man. You got to sacrifice the fashion. You can't just be looking fly everywhere you go. You got to. I mean, I don't know, unless
I ruined so many shoes in New Orleans.
I
That was
believe
the thing. Like they don't have they have street cleaners. You know what I mean? They're washing down the street of like puke and shit.
Yeah.
And so like I'm wearing like my blue Air Force Ones and I step in a puddle and it's all brown after. I'm like, man. It's on Decatur Street, so they call it that Decaturade.
Foul, bro.
It's all gross.
Oh no,
Man. But shit, man. I got into Magic the Gathering.
Oh, okay. Out
yeah.
there or just in general?
No, it's like recently. Like,
Okay.
Like literally like a month ago.
Nice.
I had a couple of coworkers just like haze the shit out of me because they were like, "You play Yu-Gi-Oh competitively? What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do. I have these old cards." And then straight up, they were just like, "You need to learn Magic. Magic's for adult players." And I was like, "Damn, I'm a stupid kid for playing Yu-Gi-Oh."
they're like, fucking, excuse me, Magic the Gathering's so for grown-ups.
Right.
Yeah,
That's what
okay.
I mean.
Well, it's because
like-
that shit's expensive.
Oh,
They're like,
yeah.
it's for grown-ups.
Right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was like, I don't feel like spending $400 on it.
That's insane.
They're like fucking weeb.
Right.
I know. Video game players out here complain about microtransactions. It's like, dude, what about these macro transactions?
The fucking cards are worth so much money now, especially the older shit. I
yeah,
just started doing research on it. I'm brand new, but like, I don't know. I got 2 commander decks now, and I'm about to go play with some friends on Thursday. I'm like, man, I'm actually looking forward to this shit because
That's
now
cool,
I
man.
get to be like, fuck you for saying I couldn't play this game.
Yeah,
I'm
nah,
beat
man.
yo ass.
gotta get good, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So when,
right.
when you get past the gatekeepers, you can fucking flip it around on them.
That's how you got to do it. Yeah.
What's the Magic the Gathering version of the Shadow Realm? Because I'm going to send your ass to it.
That's what I mean.
Whatever.
I don't even know at this point. They say exile. I'm like,
dude.
what? What does that mean?
That sounds harsh. That sounds more like a social punishment.
Right. Yeah. They're like,
That is more adult.
they're just like, yeah, you could discard the graveyard, and they're just like, oh, but like banishment? No, it's exile. I'm like, oh, gotta
Damn.
learn a
No-
whole new terminology for everything.
no recovery from there, I guess, huh?
That's brutal.
Shoot. G Smith asks, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years?"
Oh man.
Damn, that's
Down the
heavy.
line.
That's heavy. Well, I want to ball out and get a house. That's what I want in 5 years. Right now, I'm working on paying off a Camaro, which is fucking a huge chunk of my wallet.
Nice,
But
nice.
it's nice. I feel like I can go anywhere, and that's the glory of it. I want to be financially stable in 5 years, like more than I am now, which is saying something. But it's wild.
Yeah, man. I mean, fuck, that's really all you can wish for these days,
Right.
honestly. You know what I mean? It's like as long as that happens, we're rocking and rolling. You know? Like,
It's half the battle.
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, like when you were doing music. Okay, so how long would you say that you were doing music stuff full time for?
Oh fuck.
Or was there like a period where you just didn't have any day job and were just doing just music?
I was doing only music from 2013 to 2018, I would say.
That's what's up, dude.
You know, so I spent a good chunk, like 5.5 years maybe, of just only doing music as a day job.
Right.
And that was fun, man. Like I learned a lot of shit, but I also had some fucking trauma to work through because I met all these girls and I was like, I didn't know what to do. I was like, I like ruined a whole girl's life from like 2018 to 2021. But like I had to dig back and go to like therapy and shit because music's cool, but I used it as a platform so I can feel heard by people.
Right.
I didn't really have a safe space to be myself, and music really gave me that. So the 5 years that I put in work, I did like 6 or 7 years of just legwork and building, helping Benoit with the nonprofit at BTU and establishing the brass band community out here, and then just traveling and try to work, you know, like I literally did it for survival purposes, which I don't know it was a good thing at the time, but then I look at it, I'm just like, oh, well, I was a good side man, I guess. Like I just look at it like I was a good performer and that was it.
Right, because you're kind of like hopping around from project to project. Like it's not a thing where you just have the one band and that's the one focus. It's like, hey, I got a gig for you on Friday. Hey, I got a gig for you on Saturday.
Right.
Just kind of, did you ever reach a point where you felt like you were financially stable doing that? Or was it always just like a panic?
I was financially stable with it for like 2 years. I would say like 2016 was like the start of that mindset.
Yeah.
It wasn't successful until 2017 and 18. And then like I was just trying to play. Like I was meeting guys at ARC Community College or I would go to Sac State, and Sac State was kind of their own bubble of musicians. And then going back and forth between here and the Bay Area and just seeing who wanted to make music. I think I had a tight-knit community just coming from high school. And those guys at Rio Americano High, they kind of built it like a family, like to be like, hey, you got to, play your part or you're going to fail everybody else in your band. Right. And I felt all that weight on my shoulder while picking out my bandmates and who I wanted to play with after that. Because I don't want to make people's lives harder or just be like the material that I play is so easy that I'm just like, we don't have to try hard. We just got to make it happen.
Right. Yeah.
And that's half the battle. Like just make music, make people want to dance or feel something.
Yeah. Dude, that's what
quick
it's all
shout to Maya at me. Says, cheers, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank
for
you
joining
tuning
us.
in,
Shout out
man.
for everybody
Appreciate you.
chatting and tuning in. Make sure y'all drop a like on that motherfucking video. You know what I'm saying?
Let's say drop a like. There you go.
Smash that like if you would, or just lightly tap it, lightly click it. Shout out to all 5 of y'all watching. You rule.
That's good though, man. I feel like we're all hitting that point in a lot of like, you're roughly the same age as us, right? Like how old are you?
I'm 29. I'm gonna be 30 November.
Oh man, I feel like yeah. We're all 20, 20 I'll turn 27
I'm 28 now.
Yeah.
I'm 28, 27. We're all roughly the same age, and it's like when you're going through that I feel like we like 25 to 26 is such a phase where you're like, man, I can't be just like fucking around anymore, and you have to get like that focus together, and you got to trim the fat like really hard on your own life. You're just like, what do I really want to put the momentum into? It's like I have to take time to really process all the bullshit that you've been through and through like you put yourself through type of shit, at the same time. So I don't know, I think it's cool. I feel like that's kind of where we're all at lately too, just like with the focusing up and trying to get the shit going to the next level. And I don't know, it's cool, man.
Dude, it's wild because like there are days that I have where I'm like, whoa, I'm not shit, and then there's other days where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm that guy. Wait a minute. Like this is all the footwork we've done, I have my on and off days. I think everyone does. And I think like I'm just a super deep thinker. When it comes down to it, I had to prioritize my music like, oh, this is my business. This is my form of income. And I didn't realize that like later it would, pay off, so to speak. Because I just did it just to have fun for a while. Like at the end of the day, I was like, I wanted to go to school for music to play the saxophone. And like I ended up getting an audio engineering degree, which is like cool, but like you can't really do anything with a music degree unless you want to teach. And I knew from the start, I was like, I'm not a teacher. I can't sit in front of a classroom of like kids, high school kids or whatever and lecture. Like I'm just not that guy. I can be like a artist coach or something, but like I don't think
teaching adults versus teaching, I'll call them snot-nosed teenagers, because teenagers these days are fucking little shitheads.
Wild, man. Wild.
It's ridiculous. I feel like it's so much worse than when we were teenagers. Like, not saying something because we're all some hooligans.
Like with the TikTok and everything, the short attention span, like there's anxiety problems later. Like I'm looking at it like,
get cooked out, bro, on the freaking video games. Fucking kids are iPad kids from the get now these days too.
Yeah,
it's tough.
Yeah.
But then there's some kids that are still just laser focused on this shit, and those kids are gonna just kick ass. Like I don't know, like maybe it just depends on like your parents and your situation growing up, and it's hard. Like I don't even necessarily blame a lot of the like boomer Gen X parents or like millennial parents now that are like using the iPad stuff as kind of a crutch for the kids. It's like, totally. I get it, dude. Like we're all so fucking broke out here. Like I get why that's a thing. But the next generation, Leah just said, the next generation is gonna be weird. But they're all weird. But like,
it's just a ever continuous cycle of weird and
Yeah, I think there's ever that like comment of the previous generation is weird or they're not like that, built like they used to be. Yeah. And I think to a degree that's true, and it's also cyclical. But I think it's just like the proportions of it just keep getting bigger, and like the margin between generations keeps becoming like more and more vast. Because it's like we're not that far off from like being Gen Z. Like we're literally like on the border here.
On the cusp here. Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, just the differences are very strange. How vast they are, despite not being that far away.
Yeah, we didn't have internet. I mean, we had internet, like basic internet, growing up, but we more so had PlayStation.
Well, we were right in the sweet spot where it went from like MySpace and like flip phones to like Facebook and iPhones, like we were in it, like we were like 12, 13 as all that technology was progressing, and it was like right along our adolescence. So it's kind of a trip. I feel like we weren't
you came in just in time to fuck us up during puberty. Like, during the most crucial time where it's like, hey, I know you're in 7th grade, you feel weird and self-conscious and you're not comfortable with anybody, but also we have this social network that you feel pressured to be on, so come and join that and feel judged by all your friends or whatever. And like it's so weird, dude. It's gonna be weird for.
It's like we were never like fully immersed in it at any. I mean, maybe it's always just how it's gonna be though, because even kids these days, like it develops as they grow up too. Like shit's changing as they're growing up. But I felt like again we saw a lot of these big things like come in and like start to exist, whereas. There's kids that are born and it's like they were born after Facebook was made already, you know what I mean? Type shit. Like, I don't know. Wow. Anyways,
I kind of look at it like, the pandemic kind of opened everybody's eyes, where it's like, oh, let's go to therapy. But wait, autism's a thing. Like, I feel like that's the new thing right now. We're like, hey, how much of the spectrum are you on?
Right.
And I had a question myself too. I was like, yeah, maybe I am autistic. I was like, I got these little tics here and there.
Dude,
but that's the biggest one, especially going through and seeing the kids change and how they approach teaching too. Like, my girlfriend's a Montessori teacher, and that's like one of the hugest ones is like the kids are just in the room together and they have to clean up everything. They have to do everything themselves. And it's just a different way to approach life where you're like, oh, well, we can approach this individually instead of like going and being like, oh, this kid could be tested for ADHD or tested for autism.
Right.
So it's a longer process that school districts have to go through too. Wild.
Yeah, it's really crazy because then it like I feel like teachers have to be, there's a lot of pressures on teachers too, always has been, especially now. But that's what I went to college for, was to do like a pre-credential stuff to like learn how to start to go into like your teaching credential program and stuff. And it really is, you have to like think of so many like things at once so that you can get everybody at once, like kind of get the vast knowledge of spread out to them in a general way and specialize with each student and stuff. And I think it's good that, I don't know, there's just a lot more methods of teaching that I feel like are coming into play now these days versus when we were kids. They're like, memorize this shit or you're fucking a failure. Like, or you have no future. Memorize the textbook front and back.
And we got a comment that says, my hopes are up that they will somehow have more love for others than teens now. But then again, technology is hella cold and isolating. Hope they find balance.
That's true, man.
Yeah. I mean, I think. Oh, I don't even know. I don't know. I'm kind of old now.
I still have optimism for everything, but I mean, especially with the crazy like onset of AI now, things are just getting so creepy and like weird. So it's becoming hard to predict, harder and harder to predict. I think
it is weird too, because like you said, the people are talking about autism and like Asperger's syndrome and all that stuff now, but a lot of it is like, how many of these kids were just at home for like 2 years straight as a kid, where they're supposed to be out doing kindergarten stuff and like, playing with worms and like building a pillow fort and like doing all that kind of shit. But it's like, is it autism or is it just being alone for 2 years is gonna make you weird.
It's the
Spending,
Matrix, man.
yeah.
It's literally the Matrix. Like their frontal lobe isn't ready yet. You know, like it's
Yeah.
just-
Yeah,
like,
honestly.
it's just like they. I mean, I'll admit, like maybe I wasn't a person until like my college days. Like even in high school, I felt like this like. All I'm gonna do is fucking play Halo and eat Hot Pockets. Like,
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
just, it's so much into this, like, you know, I'm a worm and I'm just gonna consume and take shit everywhere. But like, you learn,
Wormcore.
right?
A worm sermon.
Right.
Yeah.
A worm sermon of Sherman Herman. Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like life takes time. Like people aren't people until they get, you know, social or get out. Like,
Yeah, socializing super important because like I don't know, it just really helps you kind of figure it out. It's kind of like it's there's like that running joke where they're like bring bullying back, bro.
Right.
Like, and it's like,
Yeah.
you kind of got to learn the pecking order, you know what I mean? Like cuz it's like, it's like okay, I'm going to be myself. Okay, if I'm to myself and everybody fucking hates you,
right.
you got to adjust some, you got to course correct a little bit whether you do, cuz I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you got to figure it out
Yeah.
how to socialize better, cuz I mean, yeah, it's easy these days to just be like, just like totally fuck off away from everybody. But then it's just as easy to like go talk to like random strangers and get yourself in all kinds of crazy hijinks too if you're
Right.
that kind of person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily say bring bullying back.
I'm joking.
but-
I'm joking.
No, but
that's the joke.
No,
though, is bring
there's
bullying
some-
back. Yeah.
There's sometimes when you see videos of certain people, you're like, yeah, we should bring bullying back because it's not so much bring bullying back. It's sort of there needs to be solid friend groups. Like kids as friends need to have solid real life friend groups where they're good enough friends with each other to call each other out on shit and check each other and say like, dude, like what the hell are you doing?
Right.
Like, if you're acting like a freakazoid, like it's just like, I mean, everybody can be unique and everybody can sort of have their own little quirks and stuff. But sometimes people just go unchecked and it's like, has no one ever told you that that's weird as fuck? Because sometimes that is where it's just like someone like, it's almost annoying where people are just too nice or too timid to really be like, yo, dude, you need to fix this or do that. Or like, and like, I don't know. It's like, oh, you don't want to hurt people's feelings. But at the same time, sometimes people just don't know until you tell them,
yeah.
But that's the good thing where it's like, and it's the same with music too. Like we were saying, don't vibe cats, don't be an asshole, but also, if you're
Important to
playing,
push each other.
if you're pushing each other, and that's why I love playing with you, Isaac, and Bryant, and Jacob, and Alan, and Jackson, and like all these people, and with the Gold Souls, and with everybody. Like, it's so sick, dude. Because
There will be days where I'm playing with you guys and I'll be like, man, I'm the weakest link here.
dude, I feel that way too. I'm like, oh my god.
It's like you listen to Jake and Bryant shred, and I'm just like, oh,
Those cats.
can I keep up? Or like,
Yeah,
am
dude.
am I doing the right thing?
Straight
Yeah,
up.
Bryant especially just has some ungodly like processing level in his brain that it's not even with just music
Yeah.
either.
I
It's
watched
like,
him speedrun Sekiro twice the other night. I went over and he shotgunned 3 Modelos
Right.
to the face and then like played Sekiro front to back twice in 3 hours. I was like, bro, what the hell?
How did you do that?
That's pretty filthy.
Like,
one of my favorite people.
Has he been on the show yet?
oh
Of
yeah,
course,
no,
yeah.
he's
He's
been
one of the
Oh my
people.
God.
He's one of the people that's been on the show the most. Like he's
Yeah.
had
Oh
like
my God.
4 or 5 appearances on the show.
Yeah, he was mine and Chris's roommate for about a year.
back when we were living together, he was on a few times, or he was on like was he on the first episode?
I think he was on the first
Yeah.
episode.
He was on the first episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually. Yeah. Taba's been around. Taba's got the second
Oh,
most
yeah.
appearances.
Taba's
Actually, I think he might be. I think
might
he
have
might.
more.
I think you have more now at this point. Yeah.
Well,
I think
yeah,
Taba's-
counting now the last few weeks for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But
Ramping up.
yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Sweet. Oh, yep. Sekiro, just like that.
Yeah, Sekiro's nuts, bro. I know. I'm too scared to get into Sekiro.
I can't do it. I'll
It's,
die.
it's nuts.
I
It's-
die
it's-
immediately.
Yeah, it's like one of the only ones that I haven't like even considered beating, where I'm just like, I got halfway through and I was like, this is too hard.
we were just talking about it, me and Christoph, our roommate, but Sekiro is a lot more like Tenchu and a lot more like Metal Gear Rising than it is like any dark. It's like way more like those than it is anything like Dark Souls or Bloodborne or anything like that. Because like the parry system, like you have to be like super like active with it, and then the stealth element is so much like Tenchu. It's a trip, which is also made by FromSoft way back in the day. So I was like, it all comes around.
I guess really the only thing it does have in common is the sort of like Souls-based leveling system that they kind of popularized. Other than that, it's...
Did you get into the From Software games?
I did. So I suck at stealth games. I have no patience. That's why I die so quickly every time. There's like, I was really like, what was it? Tenshiro was kind of like, it took me like 3 days to beat it. I'll be honest. Like, I got a day job, man. I can't speed run it like Bryant, but like there's some shit in there where I'm like, okay, I feel like there's not a lot of games that are similar to it, and that's like, I don't know, the experience of it makes me feel like I could actually like, I don't know, like Metal Gear is up there, but I feel like that's one of them that puts it on another level for the combat. So that reason alone.
Yeah. It's just too fast paced.
It's quick.
Dude, I know. Did you ever get into Guitar Hero or any of the rhythm games when those were huge?
Dude, I know guys that have like the 3DS thing and can actually play it like a keyboard.
Bro, I remember that shit.
Yeah. I played the shit out of that.
So fucking dope. I want to connect it to a mini and just do that all day.
The carpal tunnel though, after like several hours, because you gotta like hold it. It's got the strap and it's like 90-degree angle to get your fucking.
So fun. Like some guy uses it like what's the instrument?
A theremin?
I think so.
The like proximity, like
detection. Like they did that, but it's the touch screen of the fucking 3DS. So they have emulators for it.
Interesting. So they kind of turned it into like a stylophone type deal almost, or something with a little like stylus. Yeah.
I want that. I don't know how to get it. I don't know what company has the modding software to get it, but I want it. It looks dope.
Back on Nintendo DS, it was basically like a DAW. That was for DS. You remember that shit?
The Korg one?
Korg, yeah. Yes, that shit was crazy, bro, because it had a whole sequencer and you could like program drums and program synthesizer stuff, and it was on the fucking Nintendo DS. It was such a weird... It's like not even a video game at that point. It's just software.
Yeah. No, it's
so weird.
A fully like functional like MIDI environment. It was really dope, honestly. Yeah. But shoot. Yeah, I don't think I ever like actually made anything with it. I just kind of bought it and fucked around.
I messed around with that a little bit, not really that
Reminds me of like Caustic, which is like one on the Play Store, I think. It's like the closest approximation.
Oh, it's like an app that you can do. Yeah, I know. I've seen like a lot of those. I mean, there's like GarageBand on mobile and stuff. That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
So what, were you a big video game kid?
Oh, dude, my brother is 12 years older than me. So whatever latest system came out, he would have it.
Nice.
And then he would give me his old ones. So I literally had like a whole NES collection, Super Nintendo collection.
Nice.
I still have a lime green N64
on
my bottom dresser that I'm just like saving. I'm just like, this is going to be worth a pretty penny. Like,
it definitely is,
like
honestly.
$400 now.
Jeez.
Like if we looked on eBay right now, it's like, it's wild. And then like I have the Donkey Kong 64 pack to it.
Yep.
And those ones, you can't find those anywhere now. Like
that's one of my biggest regrets is I sold all my N64 stuff and my GameCube stuff to buy a skateboard when I was like 13. And so, you know, it was like the fucking ultimate trade-off, man. I was like, fuck. But I wish I had them because I'm like, bro, especially the N64 cards, bro, those are ridiculous. Like starting at $80 at least type shit, you know, like.
I think I ended up selling all my like NES shit to Chris.
Oh yeah. No, you sold me a bunch of Super Nintendo games. I still have them at my parents' house.
I'm like keep them in the community,
in the family.
I know. I definitely lent out some games to people that I should not have let them borrow, and then like never talk to them again or whatever. Like they're just like random high school friends. They're like, "Yo, can I borrow Halo 2 or whatever?" And I was like, sure.
The same thing happened to me. Like I think I have the trade-off was like, hey, I'll give you a couple controllers, but I'm gonna take this game. I was like, okay, whatever. Never saw that game again. I lost the I think Super Mario, like original 64,
Shit.
and I had a gold copy of Ocarina of Time.
Damn.
And I was
nice.
like, I'm never gonna see that one again.
Tragic.
Damn.
God,
Truly
damn.
tragic.
Hate to
Dude,
see it.
look at it. Look at this. I got pulled up on eBay right now.
Oh, yeah, right here. Yeah, pull it up.
Oh yeah.
300.
It's always the
Is it that?
translucent,
Is it that
man.
one?
Yep,
It's
it's
the
that
transparent
green
one.
one.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy, bro. 289.
Such
I mean,
a swagged out
yeah.
system,
Yeah.
bro. That shit's so sick, bro.
Those are incredible.
Donkey
Classic,
Kong
dude.
Green
Shoot.
N64.
It's so like, I don't know. I feel like the design on it is just like so perfect. I don't know. It's just two little switches and the cartridge and the plugs on the
dude.
front. Like, I
what
don't know.
What a monstrosity of a controller, though.
Oh, I know the fucking controller, bro. It's like we
we're
said.
talking about doing the shocker.
the Turok shocker, bro. That's what that's called, bro. With the rumble pack, bro.
Yeah, throw the rumble back in there.
Oh, I saw a meme today where it was like hand, and then mouth.
It's tough,
too
bro.
much for me.
Also, too, it's like those some games where you had to like move the joystick, so that's where you learn to get those skills in.
Right.
Yeah.
Damn, Nintendo was actually putting us on game, bro. Nintendo was
Wow.
they're giving us the Riz.
Riztendo, bro.
Riztendo
Riztendo 60 whore.
Ooh,
Wow.
Or Riztendo 69.
There you go.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
found it.
Got him.
Oh,
Oh yeah. So what are some like your just like favorite games of all time though? Just like bam, like just like
shit.
boom, like that's my shit.
Okay, so I play Pokemon competitively.
Oh
The ones that I was playing that got me into it was Diamond and Pearl.
Okay.
So I had a copy of Diamond. That's probably one that I could play like a million times over and not get bored. Damn, you put me on the spot. So, Star Fox 64 is really like the first one. That's like all-time favorite. Can replay that story a million times, never get bored. Donkey Kong Country, that's a classic. And then two of my favorites are actually fan-made games. There's one of Pokemon Infinite Fusions. It's a ROM hack. And you can just fuse any two Pokemon together.
Oh shit!
Man.
I think I've seen that before, like just on the internet.
It's so crazy to me. Like, I don't know who designed this game, but it's fire. It's one of my favorite
That's
all-time
dedication.
fan-made games.
That's super sick, bro.
And then the other one, you gotta have one for the homies. So it's like Mario Party, Mario Kart are kind of just tied together for me.
I feel you, yeah.
Where it's like Nintendo has it down for me, where I'm just like, all right, those are fun. Like I really had a Halo clan when I was in high school.
Hell yeah.
And I played Halo like team doubles with a high school friend of mine. We actually went to tournaments and shit.
Nice.
But I couldn't.
All right.
I couldn't pick up a sniper rifle. That's where it sucked for me.
Oh,
I feel it.
like Halo 3 era.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
Like
Nice.
when they had the Hayabusa and the crazy flame helmets, and recon was a secret thing only. Those were the days.
Dude, those were the days. Those
Crazy
were the
times, bro. It was like start of 360 era, bro. That was
Those were
nuts,
the
bro.
sweaty
Dude,
days.
best
bro.
fan community. Like
Yeah.
speaking about like a community that was tight knit. Halo 3, man, golden era.
Oh, dude.
Did you ever get into like the books and shit?
I didn't have any of the books. No.
Dude, no, that's crazy. That's like a level I've never read the actual books, but people are like, bro, you got to read the Fall of Reach, bro.
I have Fall of Reach actually. I have it in my fucking on my
my
bookshelf. I need
You know
to
what?
read it.
I had a comic. I had a comic book strip of it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I think it wasn't like the full book, but they were just like, yeah, it has pictures. You know,
A couple issues or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Nice.
remember that.
No, I
That's
saw
what's
the
up.
Halo movie. That was kind of ass.
I heard that was bad.
it was fairly middling.
Dude,
Yeah.
did you play, because you have a Switch?
Yeah,
Yeah, did you played Breath of the Wild?
I did. Yeah.
Nice, dude. I just got Tears of the Kingdom a couple days
I've
ago.
not bought it yet.
I like just got it, and
It
then
looks
I played. I've just been playing. I go to the gym and then like put my Switch down. I could go on the exercise bike, put my Switch down, take the Joy Cons off, and I'm just like, just like pedaling while playing Zelda or playing Skyrim or whatever. It's sick, dude.
Flex for sure.
That's a flex. I know. I could definitely tell some people were like looking. I'm like, oh what? Oh what? You see something you like? You know, yeah. You wish you could be the hero of time right now, dude. I was like,
What's your favorite thing about that game right now?
about Tears of the Kingdom,
Yeah.
dude? I mean, I've only played a couple hours, but the fact that they added all of the sky islands and stuff above the map, and then there's the whole underground system that they didn't even reveal that in the trailers at all. So like basically the whole size of Hyrule, because it's still like technically the same Hyrule as Breath of the Wild, but there's a whole underworld of the map that's all just you can fall down these chasms, and there's different cave systems and stuff, and there's like super difficult enemies and like mini bosses and stuff like that, and like cool gear and stuff you can get down there. So I'm like,
they're like, we changed the world. Updated tectonic action.
Yeah, no, for real.
it.
Well, because that's like the thing there. It's called the upheaval is what happened after. Spoiler alert to Breath of the Wild. You beat Ganon.
There you go.
know, right?
Oh, wow.
And then it's so crazy because they're like, oh, really? They're just doing it's a DLC or whatever. It's like, no, dude. This is like the first time in Zelda history that it's an actual sequel. I guess you could argue Majora's Mask.
I'd say is
Kind of though, but it's not like a direct sequel. It's a different place. It's a different.
It's like a 2.5 or like
Yeah.
3 times the map size, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's actual dungeons and stuff in it again. So, but what I've enjoyed, people, I haven't done this yet, but I got to get into it now that I know that it's an option. Is people have been committing they say people say they've been committing hate crimes on the Koroks, like, or war crimes, whatever you want to call them.
I know they're finding different devious ways to make these poor little guys unhappy.
Because the amount of like building and manipulation you can do with it, where you can just like throw a bunch of logs together and then put a jet engine on the back and like fly around on it. But so people will just strap a jet engine to a Korok and he's like, me, and then you hit him with it and he just flies away. And it's like Pokemon, where it's like Team Rocket blasting off again. Blink, you know. And but you can use the fuse power to like stick things to other things. So they just basically like stuck 5 Koroks together and then somehow put them on like a spit roast and then put like fire underneath them. I was like, oh my God, bro, that's evil. But unfortunately in Tears of the Kingdom, you still can't pet the dog in the game.
What the fuck?
There's dogs and you can't pet them. There's no option to pet them. It's crazy.
First feature you put in the game.
You've been able to do that since Twilight Princess. That was like a whole thing where you could pick up the dog and like fucking.
Because the dog
it's such a simple thing.
The dog will hang out and the dog will like follow you around if you're just walking around a town.
If you could pick up a chicken, it would make sense that you could also pick up a dog.
True, or at least pet it. It's crazy. So not a 10 out of 10 for me.
Right.
But we were going off making fun of Link, bro. It was bad yesterday. It was so bad, bro. The homies built like a part of the high school swim team.
Yo.
It's not good. Anyways.
Yeah. Link rules. He's a short king. He's killing it. Dude, Link's got the sick tribal tattoos now, basically, on his arm. He's got like a mummy arm.
Okay, so they made him Finn from Adventure Time, right?
Wait, does he have a mummy arm?
Well, I mean, he had like a leaf arm.
Oh no, I'm not hip to the leaf.
Kind of reminds me of like Danny Phantom. You know what I mean? With the giant like ghost fist or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay,
I feel
that makes sense.
It's like Evil Dead. No, it's
Yeah,
like
right.
That's right. He does have the thing.
Well, plus when you like fuse stuff together, it has all this like weird green goo that like appears like ectoplasm or some shit. And you just like stick it together.
No, that's
like
right. They jacked the
Ghostbusters.
beat from Devil May Cry, bro, because you was like, oh, this is my hand, and this is the ghost spirit of my. I can talk to you through my hand, and it's my spirit now. They jacked the beat from Devil May Cry, bro.
It is kind of similar to that.
Everybody's biting off Devil May Cry. Nobody wants to say that that's where they got the inspiration
Didn't
from.
think about that.
Shoot.
Well, they probably started making fucking Tears of the Kingdom before Devil May Cry, the latest.
Devil
one.
May Cry 4 was where that.
Was
I mean,
4.
it's in all of them,
it's in
or
all-
it's in 4 and 5. But yeah, that's
okay.
been a thing since 4. So they weren't making Tears of the Kingdom in 2007.
No, you're right.
Dang.
Okay.
That's wild.
I didn't know it was in 4. I haven't
And
played
the
4.
tears, King.
Oh.
And the tears.
End to tears.
Yeah. What'd you say? The tears don't fall; they crash around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
dude.
kingdom calls.
Video games, man. Video games.
I wanted to ask y'all, have you heard about that class action lawsuit that's happening against Bumble?
No. What's that all
Bro,
about?
so apparently somebody's rallying everybody together to say that Bumble has discriminatory practices in regards to its messaging system, because the whole thing is that ladies message first,
Right.
and so now there's like a whole thing, and they're saying like it's discriminatory, and it's like I don't know,
damn.
you know what I mean, like I don't know. I don't know. Like it just started getting wind of this, started just picking up recently, and they're like asking people like, have you got a match on Bumble and not been able to message her? You may be entitled to financial compensation.
Dude, that's crazy. Revenge of the incels.
It's tough, bro. I mean, but hey, it might be a very lucrative situation.
Yeah, so I guess like, what do you think about these, these swipe platforms and
Listen, man, I'm out of the dating game, but like the way I approached it was so like I didn't really care too much, because I knew for a fact that most of these women are getting like bombarded. Like thousands of dudes are just like, give me attention. And it's like at this point I'd rather just meet someone in real life. But like when I was on the apps, I would say Tinder, they're emotionally unavailable, but it's fun, and then with Bumble or Hinge, it was like, okay, I'm seriously gonna take them on a date, give them the opportunity to be themselves. But it was like half the time it was like hit or miss. It was either just like, I'm seeing somebody else, or I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
And it never really solidified. And it's. I don't like dating apps. I think the algorithms are terrible, especially if you're a single guy.
Predatory.
Yeah.
It's just designed to get you to spend money.
Right. Yeah.
Well, and that's what we were saying though, is that it's like, okay, with Bumble, it's like there's people that do spend money on Bumble. They still got like the Bumble Plus, or I don't even know what the fuck it's called, but it's like those don't even let you message or match first still, and it's like that's kind of fucking wild, honestly, like that I really thought about it, because it's like I get it if it's like, oh, it's free, they message you first, but if you pay you can message them first. You think that would be how it would work?
You want to hear my theory about this?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I think what's going on is it's not a problem until it happens to a girl. So like they got the Bumble BFF thing going on, right? Let's say a girl matches with another girl. Who's going to message first? Is it both of them, or is like one going to wait? So like, is the girl going to wait and be like upset? Why isn't my friend messaging me? You know what I mean?
That's
like,
true. Wait, yeah. How does Bumble work for lesbians?
That's what I mean.
I'm pretty sure they're both able to message first in that situation.
Oh wow!
I'm
So
pretty
it's
sure
just
that's how that works.
it's just open season.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
and then dudes just can't message each other.
right.
Damn. So it's discriminatory and it's homophobic.
Oh
Fuck.
my god.
Damn.
Yeah, shoot, yeah, makes sense to me.
Dang.
That's crazy, dude. Yeah, no, I never fuck with Bumble. Never had any success on there.
They're all stupid.
They're
bro.
all
They're all
stupid.
so
Yeah.
dumb, bro. Again, like you're saying, just meet some. I mean, it's harder to meet someone in real life, but it's so much
It's
better.
so much easier.
It's so much better because it's just like so many more layers of like actual like genuine like interaction have to happen before you get to a phase where you're like, oh, okay, like I might get this chick's number or something. Like it's like you have to have Riz already, you know, make a good impression.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's not all that like, oh, you're texting and then like it's totally awkward when you meet in person type shit. Right.
Well, if you have to go to the same place as somebody else, you can almost guarantee that if you go to a place on Friday night and someone else goes to the same place at the same time as you, there's already a couple layers of compatibility that are built into just, I'm the type of person that goes to whatever, whether it's someone that goes to the club or goes to like a small bar or goes to a show or goes to whatever, whether you meet someone at fucking Target, you know, like there's already a couple layers of connection that are there versus just someone completely out of the blue where it's just like, damn, it's so easy on Tinder to just find people that aren't compatible at all. But then you'll look at their interests, you'll be like, yeah, I could be into that. Yeah, I don't know. Like,
well, I think
I'm into activism. Yeah,
I think the value is like super skewed because it's like women obviously get hundreds of messages a day. Therefore, they don't have to put anything valuable in their profile, which makes it only more difficult for you to make some sort of genuine connection.
Yeah,
because there's nothing for you to even go on, right? So I'm like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's just a weird discrepancy there that
and
I think will
guys
be fixed. Yeah,
and then guys have to put like a whole fucking essay in their bio,
Yeah,
like
right.
get
Like,
to the character limit or whatever.
No, you have to have like a shirtless picture. You have to have the picture next to the boat. You have to have the picture in the tux, one where you're like on your just
Yeah.
get like all the fucking money
No,
shot.
for real.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah, no, the algorithms on the dating apps are just
Yeah.
they're evil, bro.
not worth it.
But it's good to be not in the dating game.
Yeah,
The relationship game is cool.
way easier.
It's way easier. It can be not easy, but it's a lot cooler than the whole just dating around, just trying to mess around with, going back and forth between like, oh, do I,
I
like,
think you did see me in 2021, like when I first like was single, like early February.
Mhm.
I went through like a chain of just like stupid choices that I should not have been making with women. And I think you remember like we were playing Shady, and it was like one girl was like a OnlyFans content creator, and the other girl was like a porn star. And like literally we were just like vamping and riffing with them at the bar at Shady, and I was like, of course it happens at Shady. Of course it's the bar that we play music at where this is gonna happen.
that's so funny.
And yeah, I let her play my saxophone, and Bryant even pulled it up. He was like, weren't you bleeding? And I was like, yeah. I was like, oh, he's like, oh, that's all bad.
Oh no.
I was like, I didn't even think about that shit. I was like, I
Damn.
was just in it. I was like, oh. It's like, my bad.
Damn.
That's tough.
You let a chick play your saxophone.
Yeah. And it was all bloody and gross. It was all like, that was probably the most scumbag thing I've ever done. And I was like,
That's
"All right,
crazy.
I'm already here.
It's like, hey, play at your own risk. Yeah.
Right. Straight up.
Nah, dude, it's good for you. It's like the swamp water. It's fine.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what that is. I was
It builds up your immunity.
like,
The blood of the sax man.
Probably
dude,
probably not the weirdest thing.
this is why all my reeds are red, and they're, like all of them are plastic. They're all synthetic. Like I have fucking tears on my lip right now, and they look like spider bites. I get that times. Like that's the most thing.
Dude, because I remember even just because I played alto sax in middle school for a couple of years, and even then, just playing the little bit that I did, I remember just like the lips just getting hella chapped or whatever, or like it gets stuck. You're like you like pull it off after
Right.
like you're playing like a long song and it gets stuck. The
Dude.
reed, oh, it's gross.
It's all bad. I had people ask me like, "Hey, do you want to play saxophone for 40 hours a week?" And I'm like, "No, God, no." Like
Yeah.
that'd be cool to have it as a day job, but not 40 hours a week. Like,
That's a lot.
like especially if I got brass players like trumpet and trombone, they're done after an hour, and we have 3 hours of music to play. You know, it's
Right.
like, whoa, stamina's
Yeah.
real.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. I mean, I can't really relate to the brass players as much. I mean, like obviously playing guitar for a long time, you get pretty tired, and your wrists get tired and stuff, and your fingers get you get calloused, and your calluses break, and
Right.
it's gross. But I can't relate to the like, oh, my chops, like
Yeah.
thing that happens with
Dude,
horn
Also,
players.
too, the air thing. I imagine. What's that like? Do you ever have any problems with like having enough air, like getting out of breath or anything? Or
I've had bad heartburn. I've had indigestion. I've had
Mm.
most of the time I'm pushing for my stomach,
Mm-hmm.
and especially the setup that I play, I have to blast past trumpet players or even say Bryant and Jake. You know,
Yeah.
like that's
Yeah.
that's real. You know, and that's I mean half the battle is the velocity of air that I have to play. But hearing a lead trumpet player behind me all day ringing in my right ear, it's like I probably do have slight like hearing loss, and
yeah,
I know like
think we
these
all
guys
do.
like
Yeah.
they split their lips open.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of the brass players do.
Ugh.
If you ask a tuba player how they feel after a gig, they're just like, "Oh, I'm eating air,"
Yeah.
They're just like, ugh.
Yeah, I played euphonium for like a hot second in middle school, and it's just the numb lips for like hours afterwards.
It'll do it. It'll do it to you.
Can't handle it.
You did band like throughout, or did you do high school or?
Yeah, I started violin in like first grade.
Oh,
so
nice.
I remember playing music when I was like 7 years old, and then going from like violin to clarinet, and that was my dad's instrument. My dad played clarinet, and he marched snare drum in the Navy.
No, nice.
And so like having my parents around that were just like, yeah, we're already artists. We're doing sculpting and painting. It kind of set me up to being like, okay, well, I can treat this like a business or do something,
Right.
in the artist field. But yeah, I just picked up saxophone because they were like, yeah, we're gonna do a middle school jazz band, and I was like, let me audition for that.
Yeah.
And after that, I played tenor my freshman year of high school, and then I played baritone sax my sophomore year, and that's kind of where it settled in for me that like, this is what I want to do. This is like baritone sax, the writing for it, the arranging, the
baritone.
like
Baritone's so sick, dude.
the funk sound. Like I was obsessed with Tower of Power.
Yeah.
Like
Oh
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
like that golden era of 70s music from like, you know, that's like, I don't know, like I'm just a soulful musician, and it resonated pretty hard.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What'd you grow up listening to?
Oh man, tell you the truth, it's like a mixture of like oldies,
Yep.
and like Mary Wells, Billy Stewart. Like my mom was always playing some Motown shit. My dad is like a early 70s guy, so like Smokey Robinson was big. Like the thing that he was playing was always Temptations, Isley Brothers,
nice.
all the soul musician stuff, like stuff you hear at the summer cookout. That was like every like summer, it was just like, that's what we're doing. And my brother has a 64 Chevy Impala, so of course he's like, okay, I'm gonna play the oldies and get the lowrider out for the summertime.
Yeah.
And that, you know, that car being a staple, I was like, man, this has so many layers of just
That's
like
classic, dude.
what the culture was or what you
Yeah.
were doing musically. It's kind of cool.
Did you guys see Smokey Robinson's putting out a new album?
I did. Yeah.
It's called Gasms.
Right.
It's called, dude. We gotta watch the clip sometime. He looks so weird, dude. Smokey Robinson. I'm sorry. I mean, he's like 83 or something.
You're too old to be releasing an album
I'm
called
just like-
Gasms.
Yeah, that's wild, dude. I was like,
I'm
he
just picturing him in like an old folks home, and he's
Yeah.
just like got so many women back to back.
Dude,
He's just
probably
like-
still,
Yeah.
bro. Like honestly,
dude. He's like breaking hips,
Right.
in the old folks home,
Right.
bro. Because it's like whose auntie is this? Like Smokey Robinson, where it's like he looks so old but so weirdly young at the same time.
pull up the Gasms picture,
Oh,
bro.
okay.
Yeah, pull it
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
bro. Picture speaks 1,000 words.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm just hoping Anderson Paak's on it. Like you give
Oh,
me
probably.
Anderson,
Yeah, you could.
You
That'd be
know,
fucking sick.
he's the voice of a whole generation. Just having Smokey Robinson like produce for some shit like that'd be amazing.
Dude, what?
I'm so stoked.
There we go. Hold on, pull that shit up. There he is.
What the fuck, dog?
He looks so like. How does someone look so old and so young at the same time, bro?
Oh yeah, he's
New
definitely
album,
breaking
Gasms.
some grandma's backs, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, easily, bro. Whatever one he wants.
Yep.
Definitely.
dude,
He's
he's
not
still
looking
out there.
too bad for 83, though.
No, he looks good, but like I feel it. It's the eyes.
Veneers. Oh yeah.
Oh
okay.
yeah, what's he got to say? Oh, he's like, Happy Mother's Day to all of y'all.
That's-
Oh my god.
Get the idea.
Like a good mom.
Gotta love those
like a
posts where
good
they just
mom.
they literally put out the simp signal for like the entire planet at one time. Shout out to all the mothers on Earth.
Oh, speaking of which,
He's on there.
There it is.
He's on there confirmed.
Uncle Smokey Robinson, Smoke Dogg, the legend living icon, here at the 2023 Pack House in the Park, 5th year, the biggest year, because you wit. This my nephew. This is
dude.
Don't play around with family.
Man,
Family
Smokey's
things
definitely
over,
slinging
right?
still. He's doing his thing.
That's right.
He got the bucket hat on. He's, yeah.
Dude.
No, he looks good though for his age.
Yeah.
But I feel. I mean, it's just the cheekbones and the eyes. Like he just looks like a person from such a different era. You
Yeah,
know? Like I mean, because
absolutely.
he is. You know, he's a living legend. but-
Gasms albums. Yeah.
Does he got? Oh, I was gonna say. I was like, let's listen to some preview tracks, but I don't want to
How
get
you make me
DMCA.
feet? Is that what I said?
Smokey Robinson. My dad took my mom to see fucking Smokey Robinson, and then my he was hitting on my mom, and my dad was like, "I'm gonna fucking kick this fool's ass." He said Smokey Robinson was hitting on my mom hella hard. I was like, "Geez."
That's funny.
Oh my
Dude.
god.
Wild.
That's rough. That's rough if Smokey Robinson.
What are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do? You know, you
Right.
can't do nothing, bro.
No, you just Man, that's tough, Chief.
That's tough.
Man, I feel like he invented Riz. He just he invented,
He's definitely one of the Mount Rushmore of
Right.
Riz, for sure. You know,
It's
Yeah.
like you can't out-riz the Rizzer, bro.
right.
The Rizzard.
You're a wizard.
You're a Riz.
King Rizzard in the Wizards.
Wizard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. Dude, I don't know what else you've been getting into lately.
Oh, cars, man.
Dude.
I've been going to more car shows.
That's
I
what's
bought. I have a '98 Maxima still. I have my
yep.
Camaro. I bought a Honda Del Sol.
When'd you get that?
About 2 weeks ago.
Oh, shit.
It's one of those cars that's like a shitty Project Barbie car looking thing.
Yeah, dude.
But there's
I'll
so
pull it
many like Civic parts that you can replace it with. So I'm like, all right.
Because it's like, is it a convertible or is it just
It's a convertible.
Nice, dude.
But the thing is, it's not like a
Yeah.
nice convertible.
No, that's the thing. They're like, because it's just a CRX, dude.
That's
but
hella.
it's like the.
That's hold on, pull it
yeah.
up. That's hella. Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Right.
That's a
Oh
definitely a Barbie-mobile. That's what's up though. They're kind of sick though.
You're
Is
gonna
it a-
pull. You're gonna pull up. Be like 2 tickets for Barbie, please.
right.
dude. What
Straight
is
up.
it like? Is it like a V4 or V6 or?
It's a VTEC 4-cylinder.
nice, dude.
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
What's your other? What Camaro? You said you
Some
got
of these are kind of
Camaro?
clean though. I
yeah,
can't lie.
I got a 2021 Camaro.
Pull that shit up, bro. What color is it?
dude.
Mine is the Batmobile. It's all black.
Let's see. Oh, is it the Travis Scott Batmobile when he took the picture in front of it and everybody made fun of him? You know what I'm talking about?
A little bit. It's that one.
That's filthy.
Yeah, dude.
but-
Those are nasty.
But I got black rims on mine.
Got the young Knight
Oh, yeah.
Rider, bro.
Yep.
That's
Man.
tight.
Crazy, dude. Dude, didn't
And
someone hate your fucking Camaro the other day?
So literally, I had it for 4 months, and I bought it on Black Friday because I was like, "Give me this shit for the low." Because the market value on it's $42K, and it went down since that truck hit it. And get this, 4 months in, this guy just swerves from one lane into the next on the freeway and dents my shit super hard on the back driver's side rear wide body frame. So right above where the tire sits was just this fat dent. And luckily, I could still drive it, but I was so livid when he did that.
Dude,
and
I
I was
bet.
just like, dude, be aware. I was literally right there. And sure enough, like, he wanted to just, like, pay me on their table and not do insurance.
Yeah.
And then I literally hit him with the facts where I was like, I'm going to call the cops then. Like, we don't, like, mess with my money or my time.
Yeah, for real.
And then he ended up, later texting me and being like, all right, it's cheaper to go through insurance, so we'll do it through insurance.
Yeah.
Because I was about to charge him like $3,500 and be like, yo, you got to fix my left bumper. You got to fix the rim. You got to fix the roof. And yeah, he just like, I paid my $500 deductible at Geico, and that was you. But
Yeah.
that was wild. That was the most livid I've ever been. Like, brand new car, fresh paint wax, and then just dent.
Especially something so badass too. you
Right.
know?
Something
You're
brand
you're always
new, yeah,
driving-
that you're-
whenever you're
yeah.
driving like a piece of shit, no one hits you. It stays perfect condition, but then it's like the sick car. Someone just baps your shit, bro.
Yeah.
It's tough.
I was so livid that day. I had a gig with Harley that day, and I
Oh,
was
man.
like driving over there, just like, man.
Yeah, I can only imagine just the rage. That's like, I mean, 3,500 is like, that's some people's car budget.
Right, yeah, that's right.
Like,
Well, this,
Yeah.
this is super. They're tangentially related, but Taba's car got fucking like smashed by
Oof.
some dude from like the. You tell him it was like the parking lot above, right?
Yeah, so like back 2021 now, December 2021, I was at my girlfriend's apartment or whatever. My car was parked. I was driving her car, just like doing whatever I was doing, whatever. On the way home, and like there's like some like old white dude in his like 60s or whatever. I think he was drunk. He had to be drunk, but just wasn't paying attention. The apartment complex next to her is like probably like 6 feet higher, you know. Their parking lot or whatever. So, dude loses control of his car. Like, I never parked my car like on the fence.
Yeah.
Intentionally, just because I wanted to be closest to like where her old apartment complex was. But I had to park it there because there was no other spots that night. The night before, and dude like literally flies through the fence, like wrecks the fence, and then like just lands his like big ass like minivan lands on top of the hood of my car.
No.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it is crazy because like I still haven't fixed the actual hood yet.
Oof.
Everything interior is all good now. You know, I got a $6,000 payout for it, but like it's like my hood is just fucked up. So, you know, I have like I if you guys look out there later, like I have a Raiders Oakland Raiders hood cover.
Yeah.
And like I have that on there now, and now like you can barely tell that something is fucked up. If you look hard, you're like, oh dang, something's wrong with your car. It was like, yeah, that's pretty much what happened. So
Damn.
just
Some
rolling like
Looney
that.
Looney Tunes ass shit, bro.
Yeah.
Honestly, bro, it's fucked.
Yeah, and it pissed me off though, because it's like the dude had no remorse. So, oh yeah, this just happens. Like it's like, bro, this does not just happen every day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why are you acting like so cool about this? I could act cool about this. You can't act cool about this. You got to be like,
Dude,
oh shit, like, are you okay? Like type of shit. You
His
know?
shit's gonna go up.
Yeah.
So,
tough.
That was crazy.
That's crazy, dude.
And it's like maybe this doesn't happen every day for you,
Right.
But I'm
So-
on this shit. Yeah.
Did the car get stuck there? Like, because I'm imagining where it's like a drop off, and then like his car fell down on your car.
So basically, like his right tire was like on top of my car, pretty much. Like it's hanging over. So like basically, like part of his car was like basically like so. Say this is my car, and this is like the top platform. His car's like this, just like chilling on the top of it. So like his car is still on the upper platform, but like landing, like putting all his weight on the head of my car, pretty much. So yeah, it was wild. Yeah, crazy man.
Crazy.
Did they have to like pull it out? Did they have to like pull it with a winch to get it out, or like how the hell did they get it off of your car?
I think he just reversed
He
it
just
off of there or
pulled
something
back.
like that.
Oh my
Yeah, like,
God.
I don't know, because like
That's
it was on there
crazy.
when I got home, and like the cops came, of course, and everything like that, and like I forget how they got it off, but like yeah, it was pretty quick. Like they got it off, and like you know, yeah,
That's
crazy shit though. Yeah.
Shit's crazy. Oh man. See, yeah, I'm probably never gonna buy a nice enough car to where that would be the concern. Like I don't know. I love older cars, dude. Or like you know, with the Del Sol, like that's cool. Like just the 90s swag. Like some of the 90s stuff is cool. Like even stuff that's not cool is cool. Or it's like
So
like
It's different.
pull out the 98 Maxima real quick. So the 98 Maxima was my sister-in-law's car, and she ended up giving it and gifting it to me when I got my driver's license. So I was like, all right, I'll learn on this car. This car is a V6, and it's the most reliable car that I've ever had.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna do a full rebuild on it.
Man.
And the thing is, the suspension's shit on it. It has an oil leak and like the evap. So there's a body kit to mod this car to look like an R33 Skyline.
oh shit.
So I'm gonna throw a fucking $1,000 cheap fiberglass body kit on it.
There you
Rebuild
go.
it from the ground up and make it look like a fucking JDM race car.
Dude, that's what's up.
I
can
love a
see
good
it,
bucket
though.
that's like reliable, you know, that you could just like, you know, roll around in.
Because like a lot of people change the engine parts and then the car runs like shit, and they're like,
exactly.
"Oh, what's wrong?" And it's like the tuning, the computer, you didn't upgrade that. Like, and then they're just like, "Oh, well, I put this cool air filter that's illegal and this like ridiculous muffler that has no muffling." It's like,
Oh my God.
Dude, I'm like, I just miss. I'm sad that station wagons aren't a thing anymore. Like they used to be such a thing. Cause like even back then you could get they would make the Camrys and stuff with the hatchback version, or like the old Volvos and stuff. I don't even know. It's like there's something about them where it's like, damn, this is like almost just grandma car, but it's
Right.
also kind of like grandpa swag kind of car.
that's kind of how I feel about the Maxima. It's
Yeah.
honestly, it's like a dad car. It's
Yeah.
like, this is going to fit the kids in the back, but also.
Yeah, he's like this bad boy's got a 6 CD changer in the trunk.
Straight up.
The V6, dude. Yeah. But still with a reasonable gas mileage. No, my next goal with my next vehicle is it's got to be something that you can sleep in, that you can lay down. Not that I'm going to be a vagrant and like sleep in my car, but dude, just not being able to, like driving around in the fucking Camry all day.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's, you know, it's more fuel efficient, but man, dude, it's like,
I saw this YouTube video the other day, and there's some guy who like sleeps in his Camaro, and I'm like, how is there room
that
for
sounds
that?
horrible, dude.
How is
Yeah,
there?
Because it's a
sounds
2-door,
not
right?
It's a 2-door coupe, and there's literally no room.
Because the seats
at
don't
all.
even fall down flat, do they?
That man got
Or
all the
they-
crooks in his
they
back. Like he
don't.
just, he needed a
rough.
massage therapist like every week.
Right.
That's crazy, dude. I don't know. If I take like a 15-minute nap in my car, I'm like, oh my god, dude.
He
I
had
wake
a
up
full
and I'm
on like bathroom situation in there, like a frying pan. Like he had like one of those dispensers to get water and wash your hands. I'm like, wow,
dude, that's nuts. I mean, you see people do that in like vans and trucks and
Right.
SUVs and stuff like all the time. Like people turn a minivan into like a living situation, but a
I saw one,
Camaro, dude.
yeah.
Come on.
I saw
did
one
that.
where somebody threw up their SUV with like a blanket in the back and the seats folded down. They threw it up on Airbnb for like $100 a night.
That can't be legal,
I'm sure it's not.
dude. But that's, I mean, for festival season coming up, that's the thing, bro. If you got the fucking.
They're
You got
like-
just the minivan with the whatever, put a little air mattress or a little pad in the back, bro. That's
You
what's
just
up.
secure a
Camping
portable
festivals?
Legally.
Airbnb at the fest. Like,
they're like legally, it's just a tent. They're just
Dude, are you hitting any festivals this year?
Actually, I'm not. Surprisingly, I did want to go, but I haven't really been hit up recently with good offers or anything crazy.
I feel it.
It feels like this weekend was one. It was like what was it, Golden Road,
Yeah.
and that looked pretty cool. I know March 4th was down there, and I think weren't you? Or no, Boot Juice was down there.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, it's going to be sick at High Sierra, though, this
Oh, yeah.
year. Because the Gold Souls are doing basically what Boot Juice did last year with the Renegade stage, where we're just going to be playing like a bunch of sets on this little small stage in between the other shows. And then, so hopefully going to be making lots of tips and getting lots of publicity and stuff. But luckily, I'm broke as fuck. So the band generously, copped the ticket for me, so I mean I'll have to pay him back, but
Right.
man, dude, it's gonna be pretty sweet. That's like the last week of June is gonna be tight, and then I think I'm doing For the Funk of It,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
because
shout
we
out.
did that last year,
Yeah.
that was fun, dude. That was just a quick little hit. We didn't camp overnight or anything for that. That was literally 2 days after I got hit by a car that I drove over there too. That was fun though.
That was wild.
It's a good
man.
way to take my mind off things for a second.
I was like,
I was
literally
"Ow,
just
ow."
like, I was so scared for you. I was like, "Are you all right to go on stage?"
Yeah.
You were like, "I was just hit by a car. Let's play."
I was like,
I was
yeah.
I was like, "How's your drive? You're not feeling bad?"
I was like, I was.
I'll probably go to For the Funk of It. I don't think I'm on any of the bands though. I probably will go with Janess Carter,
Yeah.
the Reno group.
Dude,
and I
Janess and the
know-
Juice opening up for them was sweet, man.
Dude,
rule.
Element Brass Band's gonna be there this
Oh,
year.
nice.
And
Excellent.
yeah, it's being run by DJ Spenny, and Bob's taking a back seat. He was working at Golden Road this year.
Oh, okay.
But
Nice.
yeah, good people.
Dude, it sounds like you've had your fun with the festivals and the cruise ship gigs, and you've lived a lot, dude. Like you're not even 30 yet, and you've done a lot of shit.
That's half of the battle, man. I think I played for Trombone Shorty. I did a couple brass bands in
fucking
New
awesome,
Orleans. It wasn't like 2014 was kind of like the highlight where it was like I got to play with Chance the Rapper and share a stage with Tyler
That's fucking
Creator.
sick, dude.
That's dope.
But I didn't really realize, what I was doing until it happened. I was like, oh yeah. But yeah, 2015 was when the game kind of switched up for me. I guess a lot of the touring kind of like hit the back wall where I was like, oh man, Walmart and McDonald's every day.
Yeah,
it's like
for
the
real.
touring life. Nobody actually tells you what it's
Dude.
like until you're there. And it's like, man.
Yeah, sometimes it's not great. Sometimes you're, because like the last tour that I did with the Gold, or the second to last tour that I did with the Gold Souls back in October, we were staying at a house in Portland, but she's like, oh, by the way, like the day before we got there, or the day of that we were driving up, the lady whose house we were staying at, she's like, oh, by the way, my house got robbed or whatever recently. So she was like, I'm moving. So she was like moving, like most of her shit was just completely gone. Like the house was almost empty. And so we were stuck in just like an empty house in Portland for a week with like there was no like laundry machines or whatever. We couldn't like wash our clothes. Like
Dang.
everything was just out. There was like a couch left and then like a bed. And then like we had to set up air mattresses and do all this stuff in this little house. And I was like, cool, this is the Portland experience right now. This is actually got to feel what it's really like to be an average Portlander. You know, and it's kind of, I was like, cool. Yeah, I wasn't the most glamorous, but hey, that's the tour life, you know. And a lot of people will just sleep on a bus or sleep in an RV or camp out or do all that sort of stuff. And it's like, it's cool, but man, the older you get to, and it's like, again, we're not even that old, and and it's already like, dude, it's like my back or whatever.
That's literally every single day. Like, again, it comes back to that idea of like, man, I'm not shit, but I've been around, done it. You know, like,
dude, that's what's up. I mean, there's not a lot of people that can say they were playing with fucking Chance the Rapper and shit. Like, that's fucking wild, dude. What was that experience like?
Honestly, Christian Scott was on it, and there was a lot of really good artists that were kind of composing it and writing it. One of them was a good friend of mine in New York, and he's a trombone player. His dad was actually a trombone player for Jay-Z. So I got to meet them going through like all these festivals in high school. So I'd just known them for years, and they were competitively doing the Mingus Jazz Festival every year. So we all knew the same charts, the same tunes, and the same vocabulary. And then so they just called me on a whim, and they were just like, yeah, he's going from New York, and he's going to be in Chicago, and all you got to do is do the New Jersey show. So, yeah, I just happened to be at the right place at the right time with the right guys.
That's awesome, dude.
That's so sick.
But I didn't know I was getting hired for that gig. They were just like, yeah, we need you to go over to fucking New Jersey. And I was like, all right, I'll take a little plane trip or a light rail trip. But yeah, subway stations are crazy. I spent so much time busking in those subway stations. And, you could probably, talk all day about like foot traffic and where people are going and where they want to go. And yeah, that's like half, marketing. It's just passing that business card out, getting your name out.
Yeah, dude, the busking scene's crazy in New York, I imagine too, and I'm sure in New Orleans too. I've been like looking around trying to find good spots to do busking in Sac too, and it's a little bit more limited, but there's not too many foot traffic zones, and other than like
the two big ones I've noticed are like Doco, which is like when there's a game or an event, or and then the first one,
no more Kings games now.
right.
Can't use that,
dude. The one that gets me is where the state workers are on K Street, like right where the light rail passes, like by Dive Bar. Like hitting the lunch rush and like that small patio corner, that's probably it. And then late at night in the evening, it's probably the Lavender District, that's right next to Lowbrow. And hit Jets, hit the fine dining places, and Kupros.
Dude, I gotta try my luck at some of those spots, because I just got like a new little portable battery amp too, and I'm like, dude, I've been so just like broken, like fucked lately. I'm just like, all right, time to get back out there. I don't know, try my luck. Right. They used to do a thing where they actually paid you to go busking, but I don't know that that's his thing anymore. I tried emailing hella people being like, because I did that, like I got that gig through somebody else, so I didn't have like the direct connect, but I was like, hello, Kate, is this still a thing from like 3 years ago?
The good like golden era of like right after the pandemic, where it was like, hey, artist renaissance, we need to invest in our artist communities because they're hurting. And then after after this month, we're going Great Depression, So it's like everyone's tight on money. Everyone's like, well, these coffee shops aren't making money with bands, so it's hard, man. I'd say we're probably gonna see like another year before we get like full on clubs to host, jam sessions again.
Yeah, I guess it's still just a good time for musicians out there. I mean, I guess in any city, just keep writing and keep grinding and cook up that new shit. I mean, dude, again, seeing Lab Rats play recently, I'm like, dude, I'm like,
their album release.
I need to have my own album release, but I gotta make an album first. I gotta get my band and play shows. It's tough out there.
Well, shit.
Yeah, man. Dude, you've lived a full life already, and now you're chilling at Whole Foods.
Yeah, I'm chilling at Whole Foods, man.
See, but it's like, it's one thing to be like, oh, like, because there's some people who look at it like, oh, I had to go back to full time, whatever. But you're kind of like, I've already been there, done that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. The reason I picked Whole Foods was one, it's like I like doing intimate artwork and community culture. So like when I look at the meat department there, it's like it's an intimate art form to know the craft, the craftsmanship, what type of cuts I'm looking at, and the intimacy of handing someone a piece of food that they're gonna eat that day.
Yeah,
and it's so weird that like I can look at it like a retail job, but like the corporate overlords of Amazon make my job harder.
Right.
And so like I look at it like, okay, let me just break it down. I'm a people guy. I'm a cook. Let me just get my knowledge to the people about cooking meats. And that's like, I mean, that's what the gig calls for. At the end of the day, it's fun. It's rewarding. I did it for the 401k, the health benefits, like there's something to be said about a grocery job that can offer like corporate understanding and just like, here's some, perks.
Dude, for real. Having the security and have the benefits, it's like you can't really go wrong with that. I mean, I don't know. It's like it's very romanticized, the whole like gigs and gig working and gig economy stuff.
Right.
But man, there's something nice about the security of just having a regular
like
job.
I could just show up to work, do my job, and go home and not think about it. Like I can be like, oh, I can come in tomorrow, still selling meat, sells itself.
Right. It's so, right.
Yeah.
That's always gonna sell itself.
Slanging the schmeats.
Because you've been like, I don't know, you've been into cooking and culinary stuff for a long time, right?
Right. It's been about 5.5 years now. So I always had like a part-time chef job and then still was gigging or whatever. And then in 2018, I was working 2 chef jobs. And that was pretty brutal. But yeah, that was probably the most money I was ever making from like 2018 to 2021. It was like 2 jobs, nonprofit, gigging every weekend, and still trying to, make waves doing the jam sessions. And that was a lot. And I had to take a step back after the pandemic where I was like, man, these bands aren't that rewarding anymore. Where I was like,
dude,
like
it's
it
tough.
became more like me thinking about shit like it was a job. But yeah, I had to go be like Whole Foods, like I got to go to the corporation instead of like the at-home family business, which kind of sucks, but it's like it works.
Yeah. I mean, there's something to, when you have just a regular job and then you get to do music, you are doing music more so just for fun rather than being like, I need to eat and I need to have, and I need to pay rent and I got to do all this. And it's like, this is I got to drive all the way out to here and do this. And then I only get paid $100 to do this. And then I got to pay for parking. And, like, I hate thinking about that type of shit when I'm playing music. It's like, it is kind of nice to just have it as a thing where it's like, you could just quit and not do it at all if you wanted to, and it wouldn't matter because you would still be fine. There's a certain security in that where it just allows you to do it more for fun. So it's like, I don't know, there's something to be said for both lifestyles, I guess. I want to make the gig lifestyle work, dude, but that's like my next step, dude, because it's like that's what we're all doing out here with getting our irons in the fire. Like Bobby's doing all this, remote video editing work, and you're trying to get like commissions and like doing all, doing the rap stuff and doing all these other kind of things and trying to make some kind of money on the ZUDECAST at some point. And then, but it's tough out here, dude.
It's a process.
Yeah.
Like I kind of had to do shit for free for a while, and then I was like, oh fuck, I could get paid for that. It was hard doing a lot of the jazz stuff because again, you get hazed. Like I didn't realize that like people took it too seriously. They were like, oh, it needs to be this way or particular this way every single time. And I think that's what drives me nuts is like I will physically or mentally get angry with someone if it's just like, dude, like you can't force a product. You can't force something to happen out of thin air. Because like I tried doing the music thing full time, and I was like, I got burnt out is what it is.
Yeah.
Because like I had a band leader too, and especially with City of Trees too. Him and I tried to work it out where it was like, yeah, let's gig every day. let's do it. Let's hit the streets. Let's busk. Let's work. Go busk, and then go play a show. And then all the brass players would get worn out, and I'd be probably the only one there because I'm a saxophone player. Like, I can keep going, you know?
Right.
And like, it made everybody want to quit. It was just like, whoa, we're working too hard, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotta find the balance.
Of course.
definitely.
Yeah. I think that's very wholesome food to end our episode on. Finding
man.
balance
Yeah.
and purpose in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too. Yeah, we're just almost about 2 hours here.
Yeah, I
so
know.
yeah.
There we go.
Crept
Um,
along slowly.
dude, Isaac, it's been great having you on, man.
It's been fun here.
We're gonna getting the whole cast of like just all of the Sac music scene. We got a bunch more people
We
coming
went
up,
through everybody, yeah.
dude. But yeah,
Gotcha.
dude, brother, great to have you on. Love to have you back on whenever.
It was a pleasure.
And dude, come do some gaming streams with us
Well,
too.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking, or maybe you could school us on Yu-Gi-Oh one time.
Oh, dude, playing Yu-Gi-Oh somehow for the show be fire.
I'm on some Smash Brothers. You want to
Yeah.
catch
Oh,
me
yeah.
on that? You know,
Dude.
we'll play some Mario Kart. I'm always down.
We need to get a ZUDECAST Smash tournament or Mario Kart tournament
Please.
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah.
That would be
That's
sick.
amazing.
I think a Smash tournament would be filthy.
I know. We're trying to do something sick for episode 100 too. We're trying to figure it out. Got to actually calculate when the fuck that's gonna be. Like how many more weeks, how many more episodes. But we're trying to do hopefully some like live music type of house party type of thing, or have the ZUDECAST alumni, all the people that have been on, come through and fucking shred.
Got big things on the back.
Yeah, dude, it's coming up. It's coming up soon. Like what's that? Like 4 months from now. So
Yeah.
yeah, sometime like October or whatever. Yeah, dude, it's gonna be sick.
Yeah, man.
Cool.
Fuck yeah.
All right. Another one for the books, boys.
Party.
Yeah, number
Excellent.
78.
Anything you
What
want
is
to plug
that,
last
Mazzies?
minute?
You can catch me playing with Harley White Jr. Orchestra, Bassy Vibe, Hayes, and the North Avenue Roots Band.
Yes,
Uh,
our band.
We usually do last Thursdays at Torch Club. We'll probably bring that back in probably July, I want to say.
Excellent, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I'm stoked. Fuck yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us. And we will see y'all next week. We got a spicy episode for you next time.
Oh.
Stay tuned.